In today's video, I'm sharing my nonfiction TBR, plating up a tasty salmon dinner and sampling some Hermes perfumes on the Daily Connoisseur. Hi everyone! So if you watched my planner video, the first video of the year, I introduced you to Watson. He is our Yorkshire Terrier. I'm absolutely in love with him. He is, at the time of filming this, about 11 weeks old, and he is such a dream. He is keeping me up at night like a newborn, so that is happening. If I look tired, that's why. But he's just wonderful. I absolutely love him. So yes, we surprised the children with him for Christmas. And the way we did it was we surprised them about 2 days before Christmas, because on Christmas Day it would have just been too much, too overstimulating. So anyway, he's just been absolutely wonderful, and I can't wait for you to get to know him better. And just, we're so happy. He just feels like a part of the family already. So if you have a Yorkshire Terrier, let me know any tips and tricks for this particular breed, because Gatsby was a Chihuahua Dachshund mix, and so I've never had a Yorkshire Terrier, but they're so sweet. I just love him so much. So Watson's gonna stay with me on this little blanket here, and I don't even know if you can see him. Oh, you kind of can. But I'm going to talk about the nonfiction books that I have been reading this season, or that I plan to read. So here's how I approach nonfiction. I shared my fiction TBR with you in a video a while ago, and that's going really well. I'll do updates on that in a future video. For nonfiction, I will savor my nonfiction books. For some nonfiction books, I will read them cover to cover. Books like Atomic Habits, The Compound Effect, sometimes with books like that, I will read them, straight through. Other books, like some of the ones I'm about to share with you, I will savor over the course of the year. And if the information is really dense and tricky to read, I probably won't read it from cover to cover. So an example of that is this one. It's called The Oracle of Night, The History and Science of Dreams by Siddhartha Ribeiro. And I can't remember how I found out about this. I think I watched a video and someone mentioned this, but as you know, I am fascinated by dreams and the psychology of dreams, dream interpretation. Like, I just can't get enough. So this book looks really good. And the New York Times says it makes a resounding case for the mystery, beauty, and cognitive importance of dreams. So it's very dense, and I will probably take the entire year to read this book. Like, you know what I mean? Just like a chapter a month or something like that. How many chapters are there? Okay, there's about 18 chapters. So I'll probably do 1 to 2 chapters a month and just really ponder them. So that is on my nonfiction TBR. The second one is Miranda Mill's Country Commonplace book, which I've shared with you many times, but I just wanted to bring it up again because this is so seasonally beautiful. So we are in the thick of winter right now, and I love just opening up a page and reading one of her excerpts about the season. So for example, I just opened up to page 214, and this is in the winter section. There is a poem called The Oxen by Thomas Hardy, and on the other page there's an excerpt from The Rainbow by D.H. Lawrence, and it's just a wonderfully curated book for seasonal inspiration. So that is one that I continue to return to throughout the year. This one is so cool. So this is called Poetry Changes Lives, and it's Daily Thoughts on Poetry and History by Christopher Byrne. Christopher Byrne is a gentleman who has a YouTube channel, and I stumbled across one of his videos. I can't remember what it was for now, but I immediately subscribed because he talks about how poetry changes lives, and his book is so cool. It's like a devotional in the sense that you open up to the date and it has a little bit about history, then it has a poem. Watson is just moving around here. And then it has a reflection. So for example, let's turn to a page in January. For January 20th, it says, on this day in 1961, the inauguration of President John F. Kennedy took place. So it says a little bit of history. And then it has a poem by Alan Seeger, who was, I guess, one of Kennedy's favorite poets, and then a reflection at the bottom. So it is really interesting, and I love it. So I'm excited to look at this book all throughout the year. On a side note, another great book is 'Tis the Season for Poetry by Carrie Van Hooser, which also is a poetry book that you could dip in and out of throughout the year seasonally. So I will link Carrie's book down below as well. And finally, my dear friend, Dr. Chloe Carmichael, who you all know and love. I've had her on the channel a few times. We talked about nervous energy, regulating our nervous system. She has a new book, and it's called Can I Say That? Why Free Speech Matters and How to Use It Fearlessly. So of course I rushed out to get this book to support my friend, and I haven't read it yet, but she has a lot of reviews and a lot of endorsements on her book, and it is a book about free speech. So a lot of interesting food for thought, and I'm going to leave Dr. Chloe's book down below as well. I have more on my nonfiction TBR, but I thought that these were kind of interesting and that you would enjoy hearing about them. And if I get any insights from them as we go on, I will put them in my commonplace book and of course share them with you. So now we're going to go on to the next part of the video, but we're going to say goodbye for now. Okay, let me show you a simple dinner that I plated up recently. This is a salmon dish, and I made it on a busy night, so I did not film the making of it, but it was so easy. I'll just let you know how I did it as I plate it up. So first I'm putting some rice down. My rice cooker is one of my favorite kitchen appliances. I use it several times a week, and my favorite way to plate rice is to mold it with a 1/2 cup measurement. And then I always put a pat of butter on my rice. I know some people think that that is strange, but that's what I did as a kid, so it's what we do now. Then I'm going to add my salmon. I roasted this with olive oil, salt, and pepper at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. I made a simple glazed carrot side. This is carrots cooked with butter and honey, literally a pat of butter and a squeeze of honey until they're nice and soft. And I made a maple syrup and soy sauce glaze on the stove. I eyeballed it and I added a little more maple syrup than soy sauce. I top it all with sesame seeds and some chopped green onions for color. This is mainly how I cook. I don't really measure things. I just kind of put it all together. And it was delicious. Everyone loved it. The kids love salmon. The maple soy glaze makes it a little sweet, which they definitely like. I'll be sharing a lot of easy dinner ideas in my upcoming videos, so I hope that you enjoyed this. I'd like to give a big thank you to everyone for your kind messages, reviews, and for sharing my new book, The Daily Connoisseur's Guide to Living Well at Home. It's the perfect book to get your home life on track for the new year, and the ebook is now available, so I will leave it linked down below. One more thing I wanted to show you is that I'm honored to be featured in the January-February issue of Victoria magazine, and it's the new book that's featured. Let me find it. Here it is. They feature an excerpt of my new book and Alice Tate's gorgeous illustrations. She recreated the wallpaper inspired from my bedroom, but she did her own print here that we love. And this is an excerpt from my book. So it's an honor to be featured in the January-February issue of Victoria. I thought we could do something fun now and do a little perfume sampling. So for one of my Christmas presents, Ben got me this gorgeous Hermes perfume sampler. And I love this type of gift because I absolutely adore perfumes, but I can never commit to buying a big one unless I know that I absolutely love it. So these little sample sizes are fun for me to try on. And even if I don't love the perfume and I'm not going to ever buy a bigger bottle, it's just nice to have a little sample size, you know? So this one comes with 4 of Hermes's most popular scents. This one right here, Un Jardin sur le Nil, I read a book about the creation of this perfume by the perfumer Jean-Claude Elena. The book itself was by Chandler Burr, and it was called The Perfect Scent, A Year Inside the Perfume Industry in Paris and New York. And so it talks about how Jean-Claude Elena created this perfume, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool to have a little sample size of this. So let's start off with this one because it is my favorite out of the 4. And it's funny because none of these Hermes scents are anything that I would normally gravitate toward because I love rose and floral scents, and a lot of these are kind of strong. Okay, so I wrote down all of the notes from Hermes in my beautiful little Smyson notebook that my mother-in-law gave me for my birthday. So this one was created by Jean-Claude Elena. This perfume was created as a tribute to the journey of the Garden Islands of Egypt. And so it has a green and woody scent, tangy green mango, delicate lotus, and elegant sycamore. It's definitely a very green fragrance. It's very fresh, lovely for spring. So that one I've always had a fondness for because I read that book. Hi, so I just wanted to come on here with a voiceover update because I've been wearing Jardin sur le Nil all week. And I'm actually kind of blown away by it. I think for me, the top notes are good, but you know, it's not something that I'm swooning over. And after I read the book about it, I remember trying a sample at one of the, department stores and being like, oh, okay, yeah, it's good, but it's just not for me. But the thing is that sorry, my door is creaking because the window's open. When the base notes come out on this, it is absolutely divine. And yeah, so I've kind of been enjoying it this whole week. I might wear this for spring, summer. I might get a bigger one. This is huge for me. But anyway, I wanted to update you on that. And now back to the other samples. Okay, another one in this little pack is Twilly Hermes. And they have a few variations of Twilly, but this is the one with pink peppercorn. And so let me read the notes to you. They are sassy pink peppercorn, tender rose, and deep patchouli. So I do get the rose fragrance in here, but it is very minimal. The peppercorn note is quite strong. So this is like a very spicy and aromatic perfume. I am familiar with Eau de Merveille. I have sampled this perfume before, and this has woody amber notes. It has benzoin, spicy alemmy. I can't read my own writing. I don't even know what that is. Even if I could read it, I don't know what that is. And sparkling Baie-Gerard orange. I'm speaking franglais here. So this is like basically a woody, spicy, orangey fragrance. There is a celebration aspect to it. Get this lid off again. It is lovely. It's like a sparkling, effervescent, orangey type fragrance. So this one is really nice. And the final one is Barenia by Hermes. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This is actually one of their most popular classic all-time fragrances. And it is intense, it is sensual. The notes are butterfly lily, oakwood, patchouli, and leather. And it is really nice. It reminds me of like a grown woman in the 80s. Like this is something that maybe my mom would have worn back in the 80s. It's like very nostalgic scent. So, but it's so lovely, really, it is. I love having these little sample sizes, and I thought it was fun to just kind of go over those notes. My favorite is definitely Un Jardin sur le Nil. If you wear any Hermes fragrances, let me know what your favorite is down below. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Keep calm and remain classy, and I'll see you in the next video. Love, Jennifer.